Oh,
Sorry.
okay, sorry. Did you know, like, our, Persona and, what was Journey? Are those both, Japanese?
So
Okay.
Journey was developed by this game called That Game Company, which I forgot what college they're from, but they basically started out of college.
Mm-hmm.
They released a game called Flow. I think they did Flow. I know they did Flower. But they're pretty prominent in terms of an indie developer that has made it big. They're American based.
Okay.
I can't say that all the employees are American.
Mm-hmm.
Persona was localized. It actually is from Japan, which is even
Oh, yeah.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I don't know, because Japanese society, from what I understand, I did some more. Their female labor force, professional workforce, is actually it's like 56% women,
Mm-hmm.
which for Americans it's like what?
Yeah.
And the fact is they also have the majority of spending power as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like for some people looking in like what?
Yeah.
However, traditionally, Japanese culture has been very, very patriarchal.
Yeah.
Women couldn't speak until spoken to, things like that. I don't know how it is now because I haven't been to Japan. I'm only sharing the hard numbers that I know, but if it's still that sort of perception, I find it even more amazing that a Japanese game developer still produced this narrative with such such a vast array of complexities.
Yeah, because like I was just wondering, like, if the culture of the game creator, like, you can see it in the game, like if like American or like Japanese tends to be, like how they portray their characters, like if one's more different than the other, or if they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if like culture is involved, or is it like, do you see like American tend to be more one way or Japanese the other way?
It's not. It's kind of harder to make. It's not like a clear dichotomy.
Yeah.
Because there are Japanese studios. Actually, Soul Calibur I think is one of them. I think Soul Calibur is a really Japanese studio. I'm not certain, but it's actually a vast number of Japanese games that come over to the U.S. and are localized are they very highly sexualize women. But again, their justifications, their vast audience is male, and like some of the one game I haven't played it. I've heard about it. I know it's coming out in the U.S. I don't know why, but it's a card battle game, and to upgrade your monster cards, you like rub the screen. This is for Vita, and the higher level they get, the less clothes they wear. Like so that progress isn't translating to all games in Japanese development. But it's interesting that you bring up the cross-cultural thing, because you would think that we would, at least in terms of games, we'd see more progress from one society to the other, but from what I've seen, they kind of balance each other out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because you have the very progressive, I know I'm not playing anything right now, you have the very progressive like American studios, and then you have progressive Japanese studios. A lot of independent from all over the world studios that are producing these more feminist, more equality, civil equality games, but it's still not something that you see consistently from one culture or the other.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to take a tackle? This plays like a traditional FPS. Who wants to take a tackle at?
It's traditional, okay.
Yeah.
First-person shooter?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Do extended Warzone, and we'll just keep playing and playing and playing. It's tough, because I would say mute everybody, but it's not going to make a difference, because it's just going to shift.
Do I have to pick something from here? Just game up?
No. You're just waiting right now. I am genuinely concerned that it's only recording like every little like recent bit. I think I need to reinstall it. But what I'm hoping is that anything I've said has been captured in yours. I know yours is still going.
Mine's.
Yeah, like I know mine.
Well, I'm also close to Ronnie, and I feel like I'm speaking loud enough.
I've gotten 47 minutes.
Fantastic. I think I'm getting like 5-minute chunks and then it's stopping.
Ooh, you should upgrade your app.
I know, right?
Get an Android.
Get the
I'm
advanced.
not going back.
Get the advanced recorder.
Yeah, exactly. Super voice, actually.
I'm glad your voices are being captured. So this is another game where. So let me talk. I want to talk about Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I don't really want to throw in Battlefield right now because I'm actually having more fun with Killzone for more reasons than one. But Battlefield and Killzone, right? They both had this Battlefield less obvious than Call of Duty, but they both had this campaign where they're like, look, we're being progressive. We're including female avatars for the game. Now, Battlefield, you can't actually play as a female online multiplayer. Call of Duty, you can. But this was like a big, like Call of Duty, Activision made a big deal that you can play as a female.
I remember that. Yeah, the huge story at the time.
Yeah, right. And it's like, I've never. And then the whole thing about like violence against women came up, and the whole thing got kind of overturned in what Activision was trying to accomplish. Like, look, we're including female characters. But then someone's like, oh, well, I don't feel very comfortable stabbing a woman or shooting her. And it's like, yes, that the violence against women is awful, but you're missing what Activision's trying to do. But at the same time, Activision is pushing so hard that it's ingenuine, right? It doesn't mean the same. It's insincere. And Battlefield had a softer approach where they kept every time they showed the trailer for their story campaign, there's always that female like, come on, let's go. And she was a main. I never played the campaign. It wasn't very good from what I read, so I wasn't going to bother. But she played, I think, a semi-pivotal role in terms of the team development of the main squadron in Battlefield. But you can't play as women avatars in online multiplayer for Battlefield. Now, Killzone, no female avatars. However, this is interesting. You can download a female voice pack, which leads me to believe that, I mean, if you see the Hellgast, which is what you're playing right now as Ronnie, they're covered up in all this armor, so it's harder to tell what their gender is.
I just killed myself apparently.
Oh no!
Yeah, you can't get too close to the enemy base camp because then their turrets will shoot you.
Oh, okay.
It's to prevent spawn camping, which is actually pretty
good. Actually pretty crazy.
Yeah,
but so the ISS, I think that's the ISS. That's what they're called. The who you're fighting right now in the campaign are the good guys, right? You can very obviously tell that's a male. Yeah. Who you're playing as now, some of the bigger Hellgast characters are so covered up in armor you can't really tell. So on the DLC, they actually have a voice pack that you can download that's female. But they don't say female voice pack. They say like the character's name, who played some prominent role in the story. I haven't gotten all the way through the Killzone story, but I'm much more willing to play that than Battlefield. I think that's interesting. They didn't market it. They didn't make a big deal out of it. They just released it. And then you have this game called Titanfall, right? Titanfall is one of the biggest releases this spring, if not the biggest. And a lot of footage came out for the beta, like the demo for the multiplayer. And
Shoot it.
and a lot of it had female avatars running around and shooting people. But Respawn Entertainment never made any sort of announcement that you could play as a female. It just was there. And I actually admire that more, that they weren't pushing it to as a marketing ploy and more as like, well, we did it. It's not like we have to make a big deal out of it. This is just how the game is. And it actually has strong narrative female characters too, which isn't something, again, they don't advertise it. And it's definitely an advantage that they have over the other games in terms of their consumer perception. Ryan, you can't shoot those.
I know. I
kill you every time.
I understand.
Wait, those are your... Oh, okay.
This is the enemy's base camp.
Oh, so you're saying that like they should just automatically always have female characters and like it shouldn't be like, oh, like,
it should be a huge deal.
Yeah.
Well, so here's we talked about this in the film class I had over Jan term. For everyone listening, we go to St. Mary's College of California.
Go Gales.
Yeah.
Go Gales. So I'm not saying that every game must include a female character that is in multiplayer. I'm saying that if it makes sense, yes. So obviously then there's the issue of, well, okay, you're saying that women can't fight? No, I'm not saying that women can't fight. What I'm saying is the analogy that we looked at with some of the films we watched in our class is, if you have a movie that is about a black urban culture, you're not going to throw in white people randomly just to balance out the diversity of the demographics.
Right.
Just like in a video game, if it's not true to the narrative, you're not going to have someone just to fulfill the quota for diversity.
Right.
Again, that's not to say that I discourage developers from putting female characters in the movie. I think it's great, but I don't think it's something that they should feel required to do.